trying again, you lose.
Welcome in. Mm, Need some apple juice. Put your big three in the comments. Welcome to another live episode of The Cosmic Alchemist. Been doing astrology for over 2 decades. Helping people unravel the intricacies of the astrological chart. Hi, White Bear. I'm over here on YouTube talking about astrology. Same name, same icon picture. Come on over. We're waiting for you. Star logic. Logic from the stars. One of the main stars is the sun. One of the main stars that is used is the sun. sun in relation to the earth and the four seasons. Incorporating the 12 sections of the month. Peace, how are you? Do I invest my money into anything? I have some investing uh, profiles going on right now. It's kind of a general pool. I mean, right offhand, I'm not a financial advisor, so I would consult with a financial advisor. And if you don't want a financial advisor, do some research on um, some companies that you invest in, like on every day. So that's what I would say. Welcome in. Put your big three in the comments, and I'll share a little bit with you. If you know your big three, the big three consist of the sun, the location of the sun, when you were born, the moon, when you were born, and the rising sign. The sun, the sun is currently in Aquarius right now. What does this mean? It means that Aquarius is a zodiac sign where the characteristics, the archetypes of Aquarius are amplified. Simplistically, Aquarius means water bear. And so it's someone who carries water, literally. It doesn't mean that someone's pouring water, although the symbol is a sign of a cup and water being poured from it. On further research. So it leads me to believe that Aquarius has to do with potential. There's only self proclaimed alchemist. Good question. There's no college for being an alchemist, from my knowledge. Only self proclaimed. From my perspective, I think alchemy is something that an individual does with themselves. It's not like a doctor who brings the patient into the surgery room and does surgery on them. An alchemist, quite simply, is an observer and someone who builds a bridge for someone to comprehend for themselves. So, fortunately, you get the opportunity to make the connection on your own. I'm not able to change anyone, including you. Something that you would have to see for yourself. And I build bridges, or I'd like to think that I build bridges according to cosmic cycles. One of the cosmic cycles that currently is in current movement is the sun. This is the starting point for me. A cosmic cycle is any one of the celestial bodies in this immediate solar system that has a specific cycle. When I say cycle, I'm speaking of a specific number of days, approximately, specified for that year, for that cycle. Once the cycle actually cycles, then we can calculate and determine and see what the specific day, hour, minute, and second was. But for example, like the sun is currently in a cycle in its axis, in its relation to the earth, is in the 11th cycle currently, right now. It's in the 11th cycle and 11th month and 9 days, approximately. That's what a cosmic cycle is. It's the rate at which a celestial body moves or orbits around the earth. I got this light perfectly aimed at my eyes today. Put your big three in the comments, and I can share a little bit with you from my perspective and how the cosmic cycles, the current cosmic cycle, and or celestial bodies are affecting you. We're currently in the 11th month. So what does that mean? It means that, from my perspective, my theory, the time of truth, knowledge, to be amplified. The amplification of knowledge. The amplification of community and groups and networking. What is your sun sign? What is the sun sign? There's only 12 types of people. Maybe there's more because there's subsections. Sections and subsections. Sun in Aquarius, moon in Gemini. Aquarius and Gemini are of the same element, the air element, which according to astrology um, is the element of intellect, the element of knowledge, the element of awakening and truth from an astrological perspective. If you just got here, welcome. Put your big three in the comments. Ask a question. I'm just warming up. Welcome in. Yeah, so um Aquarius is an air sign. Gemini is an air sign of the same family, elementally. Points to one's intellect. It points to one's nervous system and the processing of information. Welcome in if you just got here. So yeah, we're just holding space on here at this point. Getting familiar with the platform here on YouTube. I don't know why it's so different. Then again, I do know it's the timing. It's the look. Very similar though. Same exact thing. It's all mental. It's all mental. Which is the character trait of the air signs? Mentalism. For Aries, the next 22 days brings a highlight to friendships, networking, group activity. For Taurus, the next 22 days focuses on career, business, reputation. For Gemini, highlights and amplifies education and philosophy, schooling. For the zodiac sign Cancer, it highlights shared resources and joint endeavors, relationships that are merged together, like your bills, your partner's finances. For Leos, it highlights your relationships, your contracts, what you contract to do, what you agree to do. For Virgos, it highlights your health, and creating new routine. For Libra, It's the love life, it's creativity, it's enjoyment. For Scorpio, it is your roots, your home, your family, and your ability to provide even for the family. For Sagittarius, it is the mindset, the intellect, it's information, the sharing of information. For Capricorn, it is your finances, is values, your worth. For Aquarius, it is your personal self, your identity, who you are. And so that's combined and connected with the the moon, the emotions. The moon is in Gemini, so it activates the thoughts. So for Aries rising, it highlights the social network, and it also highlights how you communicate in those social networks, the sharing of your ideas in groups and with communities. For Taurus, it is it amplifies your career, your reputation, and how you communicate to others of your worth within that realm, at the workplace, and in that field or environment. For Gemini, it is the communicating your ideas and expanding upon your ideas for growth. For Cancer, it is the shared resources. When I say shared resources, I created a note about Cancer for the next 22 days. And the theme is this affects both of us now. Whatever values you and your partner have, so powerful. This is a highlight for Cancers. The connection to that is with the moon in Gemini. Cancers feel like their words aren't heard or aren't being heard, hidden. For Leo's suns, moons, and rising signs, it is relationship. It is negotiations, what you're willing to negotiate, what you're willing to agree to in partnership. And the connection is speaking with purpose, telling your partner what it is that you love, ooh, about them. Look at that combination. What your goals are, what your desires are. For Virgo, it is routines and implementing these routines. Implementing routines, maybe near the workplace or near your daily tasks, your job, and or at least processing how to start these routines. Virgo has Gemini in the 10th house. So it has to do with being informed in public or at the workplace or place of business or while you're performing tasks. It's for Virgo. For Libra, the next 22 days focuses on love. It also focuses on um, the inner child. Not only is there time for work, but there's a pull to engage in some inner child behavior. Long story short, enjoyment. Some enjoyment that's different from the norm. Aquarius is nature is different, shockingly different, out of the ordinary. In some schools of thought or some lanes, they say to spice it up. Spicing up the relationship doesn't necessarily mean fire. It's something, just something different. Right? Um, Scorpio. Scorpio. For Scorpio, the highlight this month is the home life. In addition to sharing resources, sharing information with others to transform the relationships within the family network. But for Scorpio, suns, moons, and risings, the highlight is the home, the family, the network, the home network. For those that have children, it's the ability to parent, highlights the ability to parent too. In tandem with communication, how you communicate as a parent. Look at that for Scorpio risings with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Gemini. For Sagittarius, it brings communication is also um another aspect of communication. The focus is communicating your ideas and your mindset. What do you allow to cross your mind routinely in the course of the day in order to act or activate a certain behavior? Repetition is needed some way, shape, or form. And this is for Sagittarius, suns, moons, and risings. Welcome in if you just got here. If you put your big three in the comments, share a little bit with you and how these transits, Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Gemini, impact you from my perspective. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for listening. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Gemini, stellium in Aquarius. Not just the sun, but a stellium. Anybody want to see the chart? I do. It's freestyle. This is the chart. Here we are. Here we are. This is the stellium. Pluto, Mars, the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. All within the first 15 degrees of Aquarius. This is current astrological information as of 11:32 today. The sun by itself in Aquarius can be interpreted as a highlight, literally a highlight, the sun, because the sun is a light, as we can clearly see in the daytime. From an astrological perspective, it is said that the sun lights and highlights and amplifies the character traits of a zodiac sign. Thus, therefore, wherever Aquarius is located in your chart, it's amplified. If it were saying something, if it were speaking, if it were a person, it would say, use your intelligence. This is grandma saying, use your intelligence. You didn't get the notification, Flawless? I'm over here now on the tube, on the YouTube. We're waiting for you. Peace and wellness. All of it's important. That's a good question. I'm just starting with the sun. We have Pluto, Mars, Sun, Venus, and Mercury all in Aquarius. Significance is that it brings about the Aquarius trait of independence, revolutionary behavior, disruption. Disruption can be good, disruption can be bad. It depends. If you're in a meeting and you're tired of I don't know if that's the best example, but thinking about being in a meeting, you're dying for the meeting to be over because the guy is monotone, the person is monotone. A disruption might be wonderful, possibly. It depends on where it's located in your chart. Worldly, in the mundane world, If we look, we can kind of see some of these character traits being expressed from a little bit of doom scrolling that I've done a lot more lately. I would call it educational scrolling, not for nothing, and for something at the same time. Um, but I've been looking at how community action has played a role and is significant. The idea of freedom expressed through groups of people, not for nothing, which are behaviors that point to and stem from Aquarius. No, if you're peaceful, you're totally in sync. You're in sync whether you're in peace or whether uh, you're all riled up, either or. I think sometimes people are looking for when someone explains something from an astrological perspective, the person, for one, may not have enough information around the topic to understand it, for one. And for two, are tying so fast and hard and with the strongest grip to each and every uh, word and to see how that can apply to the life. Part of your peace, part of your peaceful place involves independence, change, and a revolutionary spirit, is what I'm saying. Because this symbolism here is symbolic of something that's actually happening that I don't, I'm not of the mind that anybody can move out of the way of. Like Neo was able to dodge the bullets in the movie. We use the movie The Matrix, how Neo is able to dodge the bullets with universal and solar systemic energy. No one is exempt from the energy. So whether a person agrees with the interpretation or what the logic, what logic comes from cosmic cycles or not. For example, when you were born, where was the sun? Let's just use it for an example. Let's talk about it. Perhaps I can do a live demonstration because I'm not of the mind that anybody can move out of the way. You just, you just don't move out of the way of the energy that's there. Anybody's can put their zodiacal information in there while I'm warming up here on this app. So the sun is one of the lights, and the moon is another one of the lights. These are the two lights in the sky that orbit and we orbit around. And from an astrological perspective, these are the two objects that give us our main themes. Notice the color of this light blue or this teal. I don't know, maybe I'm colorblind. I don't know. I would say light blue or teal. Anybody else say light blue, teal? Notice the color here and notice the color here for the sign that the sun is in and the sign that the moon is in. That's wonderful. Um, thank you for passing. That's fine. I was going to use you as an example to maybe show you in real time how this Aquarius energy per se impacts you as a YouTube frog air passer randomly. You've randomly come to a place where I'm willing to use you as a test subject, respectfully. If you'd like to be a random YouTube frog chatter passer test subject, where you share with me your zodiac sign or the zodiac sign that the sun was in, and I incorporate and interpret the symbolism of Aquarius into, there we go, Taurus. Thank you so much. Right? So this is Aquarius here. This is the zodiac sign Aquarius. Don't take my word for it. Google Aquarius, pull up images. You should get something that looks like this. I tell people not to believe anything I say. Research it for yourself or take it with a grain of salt. This is the zodiac sign Taurus. Now, it may not appear as such, but there's a mathematical relationship that's going on between Aquarius and Taurus. There always has been. And without you knowing, there's a mathematical relationship constantly when the sun is in Aquarius, when the sun is out of Aquarius, wherever the sun is, there's a relationship between Aquarius and Taurus. By the sun being in Aquarius now, it amplifies the relationship between Aquarius and Taurus because symbolically, Aquarius is 90 degrees or 90 days from Taurus, and these mathematical distances and relationships create these aspects. These aspects are like conversations to one another. Okay. So, long story short, short story long, cutting right to the chase. Aquarius and all this symbolism in Aquarius for Taurus, generally speaking, highlights your career. It highlights your career, your reputation, public image in some way, shape, or form. If you were to look at your life for the past how many days is it? For the past 9 days or so, there's been more energy, possibly, that you and other Tauruses might feel an amplification in this area. Maybe you have your own business, maybe, and there's more ideas around the functionality of your business. I don't know. I don't know you from a can of paint. I know you as a YouTube frog. What is it? YouTube frog chatterpasser. The first time I've heard that, it's interesting. I'm new to the app. Um, Maybe you work for somebody and you've been speaking to the boss about your independence. Hey, I need more freedom here. You need to let me stretch out a little bit and use some of my skills. Maybe, right? That's two possibilities, but they still, both of those possibilities have to do with freedom and independence, right? Maybe you have a job and you're looking to detach from that job or to split. You've been thinking about doing something else on the side, maybe YouTubing. I don't know, possibly. But lo and behold, generally speaking, for Tauruses, it amplifies, it brings a light. When I say a light, I'm talking about an awareness where you become conscious of your overall position in life, your public image. Now, that's generally speaking. There's another layer that we can calculate with this. We can, according to your time of birth, you have a certain rising sign, which produces a certain zodiac sign that you express predominantly, mostly. It's called the rising sign. But for that, um, we would need the time of birth. But this is a whole, this astrology shit is a whole um patternized or a sequence of patterns. That's what it is. That I'm of the mind that not anybody's able to move out of the way of. Another thing too, if we look at it a little bit more, if we go into a little more depth with this career and business, I'm going to add in this little symbol here. You see this symbol? This symbol here is, I say Uranus, other people say Uranus or Uranus. Uranus is currently in Taurus, and Uranus is the planet of change. It's a little rebellious, right? It's been there for approximately 7 years, 6, 7 years. So I would then translate, because I'm of the mind that you're not able to move out of the way of celestial energy. You're impacted by it one way or another. I would say that for the past 6 or 7 years, there's been a change brewing with the career, the reputation, and the business. Possibly, if you're still here, I don't know. You might have left. You might have left, but that's how that works. Anybody else still here? Ah, you are still here. It lasts for 6 or 7 years. It's almost done. By the summertime, it'll be in Gemini. Yeah, Uranus or Uranus. If you look back at your life over the course of the past 6 or 7 years, you can see significant changes in your life where you've removed yourself from circumstances because you weren't valued. You see that? And it impacted your career, your overall position in life. And it mainly has to do with worth. You've possibly have gone through periods where you've had more money and less money. and you've learned how to manage money and your worth and your value and manage your patience too, possibly. If you just got here, welcome. Your zodiac information in the comment. I'll share a little bit with you while you're passing through YouTube on this Thursday morning. Welcome. Hope your morning is going well. I've been practicing um, researching, sharing with people about cosmic cycles, which is another way to say astrology, star logic. And I'm talking about the sun as a star in the sign of Aquarius and its relationship to Taurus with my buddy and friend and new subscriber, Frank. What does Gemini bring? Good question. Gemini brings information. Gemini brings information to you, Frank. As a Taurus rising with the moon in Gemini, you might not have any planets in Gemini, but it brings a thinking and information and processing and integrating. How am I? What am I worth? What am I worth? And how you bring that to the business and the company. I would say it's worth you to speak up about what it is that you can do to the boss. Hey, buddy, let's have a meeting. I've been thinking. I've had all these great ideas. Here's a proposal. Those are only two aspects of the chart. I'm guessing. I'm hypothesizing at this point because that's not enough information to say. But once I start getting the other stations or placements of the other planets in your chart in relation to the transit chart, then more of the story is revealed symbolically. Symbolically. And that's what I'm sharing. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Your questions are welcome. Um, if you're asking how long does these two cosmic cycles persist and insist, this celestial body, this symbol, which symbolizes the celestial body called Uranus or Uranus or Uranus, pick your name. They're all mean and have to do with this symbol. It stays in a zodiac sign for 7 years. This celestial body, this symbol, which connects to the celestial body of the moon, stays in the zodiac sign for 2.5 days. This is the fastest moving celestial body in our immediate solar system. Anybody else want to share their zodiac information? Put it in the comments. I'd love to share with you about your astrology. Don't be shy. What most astrologers like myself, what I look for mostly, or what I look for at is the rising sign. The sun sign describes an individual, but it is the rising sign. Nelly dog, Aries. And the rising sign is configured by the time that an individual is born. This is the zodiac sign Aries here. You see this symbol here? Nelly dog. Do you see this? It looks like a key, doesn't it? I've been saying that this is the key to healing. Chiron. Looks just like a skeleton key to me. Symboled as this symbol is interpreted as your healing or one's healing, a healing process that's taken shape in you. But, you know, and it also shows where you're wounded because when you're going through healing, you're still tender. So, and by it being an Aries, you're healing and wounded with how fast and impulsive you are. All Aries, sun, moons, risings, energetically. This month, there's a highlight over the course of the past 9 days. For Aries, it's been themes surrounding goals. It's one of the big features for Aries is setting goals. I've been thinking about um vision boards. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a vision board if you don't have time to go to the dollar store and get the little glitter and the glue and all of that stuff. You can just put it on a piece of paper or you doodle some of your ideas that you have, do a rough sketch blueprint of what you would like to implement in your life. It's full. This is if this was a stomach, someone's stomach, it would be full with all these planets here. What is it filled with? It's filled with knowledge. It's filled with truth. It's filled with inventions, rather. Aquarius is inventive, inventing ways to set goals, to reach goals. Healing mentality and physical, healing mental and physical. Sure, sure. Networking, the healing, your healing. You see that your healing may improve through other people. Maybe, possibly. I say other people because Aquarius has to do with the group, community. You know, the zodiac sign Aquarius. Aquarius means water bear, so it's like a bag, right? I heard someone say that Aquarius is like the cloud, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one," because a cloud holds condensation, it holds water. Similarly to a water bear that carries a bag that the water goes in, a water bear. So it's potential energy. There's so much potential when it comes to the group, with or without astrology, with or without astrology. Um, thank you so much for the time. Come earlier. Put the notifications on so you can get me earlier. I get nervous in the beginning. Got all kinds of stuff going on. People coming in saying stuff to me, so I'm working with it. Um, I got more to share. Subscribe. Come back tomorrow or later.